Hello students, welcome to the Sarat Chandra Academy, and today we will have discussion of Physics 28 January evening paper memory based discussion. So let's start. So first question we have: measurement taken with vernier caliber are as follows: 1.21, 1.23, 1.24, 1.20 mm. What can be the least count of vernier caliber? So least count we can directly see 0.01 mm, right? Second option answer. That's it. Okay. So that was very easy question. So what is the answer? 0.01 mm, second option. Next question we have: the minimum deviation produced by a prism is equal to refractive angle of the prism. Then choose the range of refractive index mu on the material of prism. Minimum deviation produced by a prism is equal to refractive angle. So if you go by the formula, what we have the formula, mu is equal to sine of A plus delta minimum by 2 divided by sine of A by 2, right? So if you say that mu, refractive index, the minimum deviation produced by the prism, is equal to refractive index, refracting angle of prism. So this delta minimum is equivalent to A, right? So you will have A plus A by 2, that means sine A, right? Divided by this is sine of A by 2. Okay. And then the range of refractive index mu of material of prism is, right? So if you see here, what you can put this, how you can simplify this? So you can say sine A, so you can say 2 sine A by 2 cos A by 2. So sine A by 2 cancel out, 2 cos A by 2, right? This is the thing which you have. Now if you see range he is asking, so more than this you can't simplify, right? So what is cos A by 2? This can be range 2, this can be range from -1 to 1, right? But if you are talking about refractive index or A, then the angle will be between 0 to 180, so it will come 0 to 90. So you can say it will come 0 to 1, right? Even if you take close range, so the range you will have is 0 to 2, right? So 0 to 2 possible, okay? And obviously refractive index will be greater than 1, right? So here you can say this will be 1 to 2, right? So mu equal to 1 to 2. So you have the second option, okay? Next question. Gauss law is defined for inverse square of distance force. Yes, I think he is asking correct options. Okay, so first is correct, one is correct. Okay, work done by uniform electric field on a charge moving in circle is 0. I think second is also correct. So uniform electric field on a charge moving in a circle is 0. So think it like this. Okay, maybe by electric field you will not able to get the field, but gravitational field if you take, then you will able to get the field. Uniform gravitational field, basically in one direction. Okay, gravitational field and electric field, just value is only different, right? Uniform means downward facing, let's say. Okay, this is electric field or gravitational field. Multiply with charge or multiply with mass, right? Because you understand the gravitational force more, that's why I am saying. Okay, now if you move a particle in a circular path here to here, what is the work done by gravity? 0. Similarly, what is the work done by electric force is also 0. Okay, because this will be conservative. Got the point? Okay, next. Third, electric field of a point charge forms a concentric circle around it. No. Okay, so second is correct, third is not correct. Electric field line forms closed loop. No, right? So 1 and 2 is correct, so that means first option. Okay, that's it. Next, if position vector is given by, so position vector is given this x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap, and if its signs are reversed, then which of the following physical quantity remains unaffected? Okay, so if I reverse the sign, right, x changes to minus x, means if instead of writing r like this, if I say r is minus x I cap plus minus only we keep, minus y j cap minus z k cap. If I write down it like this, then which of the following quantity will not change? So Here with position vector you can calculate velocity, displacement, acceleration and torque, right? And with this r vector also you can calculate velocity, displacement, acceleration and torque. Basically this is only the displacement, right? Then which of the following quantities will not change? Understand one thing, when you will calculate the velocity, negative sign will be negative only here, okay, it will not come same. Displacement, they are only representing. Acceleration, double differentiation, still negative sign, there is a negative sign difference. But when you will write down torque, in torque you will write down r cross f, right, where f is nothing but mass into acceleration, you can write down, right? So this r will also have a negative from here, and the acceleration is also have negative from the double differentiation. So that negative will cancel out, and this one both will give torque same value. So that's why torque will be same even if you multiply the position vector with a negative. Okay, so I hope so this is clear. Next, find number of photons emitted per second by a light source of wavelength 663 nanometer at a power of 6 milliwatt if h equals to this, and so the number of photons is n into 10 to the power 15, then find the n. Okay, so basically power is given, number of photons emitted per second. Okay, so power meaning what? Power meaning is energy per unit time, correct? Total energy per unit time, right? What you need? Number of photons per unit time, correct? And you have total energy, right? Number of photons you don't have. Okay, and you have the energy of one photon. How you have? Lambda you have, na? So you got the hc by lambda, that is the energy of one photon. So if I divide total energy with total number of, like, energy of one photon, then what I will get? Number of photons, and here energy per unit time is there. If I divide this total energy, right, per unit time divided by energy of one photon, what I will get? I will get number of photons per unit time. So that's what I am saying. Okay, so if you divide the power with hc by lambda, then you will get the number of photons per unit time, or you can say per second. Okay, so that is only your answer. So how you will solve? You will say power is given 6 into 10 to the power minus 3, okay, divided by hc by lambda. So if you have in nanometer, you can say it 1240, right, and lambda will go in numerator, and that will be how much? 663, right, but it is in electron volt. Okay, so you put in 6.63 only and it will able to solve it. Okay, don't worry about it. So let's put that way only. Why to confuse? And he gave the value of h. So he, see here, power is how much? 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by h is 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay, and c is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and lambda will go in numerator, that will be 663 into 10 to the power minus 9. Okay, so if we simplify this, okay, let me simplify it for you. 3 2 times, let me change the pen, this 3 2 time here, okay, and 6.63 and 663, so this will cancel out 100 times, right? Okay, and now just the powers are there and 2 is there, so 2 into 10 to the power here minus 3 plus 2 minus 9, and then minus 8 this will go, and then this will go plus 34. Okay, so this is 2 into 10 to the power, how much is this? You can say minus 1, minus 10, minus 18, and this is 14, 16. Okay, so he wants 15, so your answer is 20 as far as I think. Okay, so your answer will be what? 20. Capital N equal to 20 answer. Next, so next you have this question. Okay, 4 resistors, equal resistors are there, 40 volt. Okay, if resistance between A and C, okay, A and C between this resistance is increased by 10% through heating, then calculate VA minus VB. So if we increase the resistance by 10%, so 10% increment means, understand, if this resistance instead of R between A and C, it becomes how much? R plus 10 by 100 of R, meaning what? 1 by 10, that means 11 by 10 R. Okay, this is the new resistance. Okay, then after you solve for VA minus VB. Got it? Now between here, now how you will solve it? Now this is a very easy question of your current electricity, right? How you will solve? Let's say current here going I1, okay, and here current going I2. Okay, so for I1, how you will solve? If you see here, 40 volt voltage is provided between C and D, right? So through this you have R plus R, 2R. So sorry, here 11 R by 10, and this is R, right? So these two are in series, right? Directly I am solving, okay, not making, combine them and then solve for current and then divide the current and then go for voltage. That way I don't prefer. Okay, here directly you say these two are in series, okay, provided 40 volt. So what you will go for? That V equals to IR. I is how much? I1 into R is what? R is 11 by 10 R plus R. Okay, so that will be your I1. Getting my point? Okay, I1 will be how much? I1 will be, this is 10, so this is 400 by 11 plus 10, how much? 21 R. Okay, and by that you will get the, if you take, this is 40 volt, right? Okay, then here this is, you say this, you say 0, it will not matter that much. Okay, this you say 0 volt, right? So this you can say 40 volt, right? So you can go for the calculation this way. Okay, I prefer this way. If you go back, so 0, current is flowing this side, so this will be plus IR, right? So if I want to write down VA, right, VA will be how much? 0 plus I1R. Okay, because there I have to multiply 11 by 10 R, here I have to multiply just R, right? So I1 into R, if you will do, you will have 400 by 21 volt. Okay, and VB if you talk about, then here the I2 will be nothing but just I2, if you talk about, V is 40 by 2R, right? So that is 20 by R directly, right? So I2, so VB if you calculate, VB will be nothing but 20 volt, straightforward. Okay, so now if you subtract VA minus VB, right, so what you will have? 400 by 21 minus 20, that will be how much? Mod you can take later on, minus 20, and this will be 420 by 21. So that will be 20 by 21 if you take a positive value. That's it. So I think third option is the answer. Okay, you can go anyway. The final aim in this kind of question where he asks the potential difference, you assume a potential of a point. I have took here, see, I have took 0 here. Okay, if you have not took the 0, okay, you say, sir, why I should take 0? I will not take 0, I will take a random value. Okay, you can go with it. How you will go with it? You will say, sir, VA, I assuming here VD, right? So instead of writing 0, and basically if you remember what we do, from here A to D potential, how you calculate? VA minus IR, because current is flowing in this manner, right? Okay, so VA minus IR is VD, right? So if I want to write down VA, VA will be nothing but VD plus IR, right? So instead of writing 0, here you write down VD. Okay, and instead of writing VB, you write down VD plus IR. So you say here also is 20 plus VD, right? And now again when you will subtract VA minus VB, that time VD and VD cancel out, which I have already assumed 0. Okay, so if you don't assume 0, you assume a value, then it will be subtracted. Okay, I think in this paper only one question came where he asked that what thing I can't measure, right? So there he said voltage you can't measure, you can only measure the potential difference, not the potential of the point. Okay, because at certain point when you will assume the potential, then only you can, giving that reference, you can say this is the potential value. We will see ahead. Let's see. Match the following as per the dimensional formula. So this maybe have done very fast. Okay, so first of all, pressure is nothing but force per unit area, right? I don't feel like solving it, but still let's say force per unit area. So force per unit area, force is mass into acceleration. So mass into acceleration, acceleration length time to the power minus 2 divided by L square. So this will be what? mL to the power minus 1 t to the power minus 2. This is the way you have to solve. So mL minus 1 t to the power minus 2 t to the power r. So p 1r means either first option or either third option. Okay, these are only the two options, so these got rejected. Okay, now see properly, do we have to check the second option? No, because here I am not able to reject anything by the second option, right? Second option I am not able to reject this one and this one because both are saying P, so answer of the second one will come P. Okay, possible. Third option I am able to reject, by fourth I am able to reject. So which one you feel better, that third one is good or fourth one is good? Surface energy, it's just an energy only, right? So energy unit, what you say? Energy, any energy you take, right? Any energy what? Half mv square, right? So half mv square, what you will say? Mass m, and this is L square t to the power minus 2, right? Length by time to the whole square. So m L square t to the power minus 2 means S. S means surface energy. 4S means first option. So answer is what? First option. This also got rejected. Okay. So we don't have to check the second one because second one is not clarifying. Second one is not eliminating any option, right? So why should I go with that? Okay. Next. Block of mass 3 kg is connected to a flywheel of mass 3 kg and radius 5 meter through a massless string wrapped around the flywheel. Find kinetic energy in joule of flywheel when block descends by 3 meter. Okay. See here. This is very general question. Flywheel like this, okay, wheel of mass 3 kg. So he have the mass m equal to 3 kg. Okay. And radius 5 meters. So it have a radius also r. Okay. And r is given how much? 5 meter. We will put the value later on. Okay. Through a massless string wrapped around the flywheel. Okay. So block of mass 3 kg is connected with it. Okay. Through a massless string. Okay, this is also same mass 3 kg only, so I am taking m as 3 kg. Okay, m, that's it. Find kinetic energy in joule of flywheel. Okay, so when this will rotate, the block descends by 3 meters. When he is, now if you release it, it will go down, right? So when he went certain 3 meter, which I am saying h, right? When he went h height down, that time what is the kinetic energy of this flywheel? Okay, so first of all, you have to consider this flywheel as a, you say, disk. Okay, generally we consider that only. Okay, JEE Main doesn't focus on those things, but if it want to give a clear answer, then it will be a proper, he will mention it's a disk. Okay, you have to consider it like a disk. Okay, maybe it have gave in exam, we have a memory based paper, so let's see this thing how you will do. So just fast forward. mgh, the work done, total work done on the system is equals to change in kinetic energy, right? So work done by gravity is mgh, right, is equal to change in kinetic energy. So initially everything was at rest and then moving. So he came at down here, that time he, let's say his velocity is v, and he started rotating with omega at that point of time. So we can say mgh is equals to the half mv square, and for the wheel you can say half I omega square. I is what? mr square by 2 into omega square, and v equals to r omega also valid, right, at any point of time. Here v equals to r omega, very basic thing. At this point if I see, then here according to this point is going down with an r omega, right, and the string is getting unwrapped with a velocity speed of v, the same as the block. So that if no slipping is there, then v equals to r omega should be valid. Okay, so if we see this, you solve for what we need. We need this value, right? But we have to be converted this value also, right? So well, let's get what we want. Here if you put r omega is v, right, then what we have, mgh is equals to half mv square plus r omega, r square omega square, r omega whole square, that will be v, right? So mv square by 4. So mv square by 4. So actual thing that you need is this value, you need mv square by 4, right? So first of all, let's do one thing. V square value you calculate. Mm cancel out here, okay, and this is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 of V square is equal to GH, right? And now you get the value of what? 1 by 4 of mv square. This is the energy, right? So 1 by 4 is what? GH by 3, mgh by 3 or multiple of 3 divided by 3, right? So mass is 3, g is 10, height is 3 divided by 3, so that's an 30 joule. Okay, so 30 joule is the kinetic energy, and he will go 3 meter down when he is at 3 meter. Okay, next. Find time taken by the block to reach to the bottom. Okay, so this thing, what is happening here, first try to understand this thing. What is happening here, that this wedge is moving that side with an acceleration of a0. Okay, and this block initially you have to consider at rest. Okay, and then how much time this block will take coming from here to here, no friction given, and this base is given of length L, right? Now let's understand. So with respect to wedge, when you will solve, you have to apply pseudo force. So how it will look? So block when coming down, you will have, okay, while coming down, block will have two acceleration. Let me mention that. ma0 that side, so pseudo force will act in opposite direction. So ma0 this side, okay, and mg sine theta here downward, right? Mg is acting, but I don't need mg. I am directly saying mg sine theta this side, okay. Mg cos theta component this side. Similarly, ma0 is acting, okay. So if you take the component this side it will come ma0 cos theta, okay. Mg sine theta this side, ma cos theta, ma0 cos theta that side, right? These are the two acceleration it have, right? Now obviously if he is asking time taken to block to come to the bottom, right, then you have to consider mg sin theta as the higher value, right? This is dominating. So now net force on the body is this direction. Net force equals to mass into acceleration. This body have an acceleration this side a, right? So that value of a calculate. So net force is what? Mg sin theta minus ma0 cos theta is equals to mass into acceleration of the block. So acceleration of the block came what? G sin theta minus a0 cos theta. Okay, this is the acceleration. Now calculate the time. So, okay, so it is just kinematics now, right? What is there? Acceleration given, initial velocity 0. So u0, right? A you have, okay, and how much length it will travel? How much length it will travel? This is L. So this is how much? L by cos theta. L by cos theta. So you have the initial velocity, you have the acceleration, and you have the displacement, right? You give me the time taken, right? So which equation you will apply, that you have to think, okay? So I am thinking s equals to ut plus half at square, that will be the best, right? So if you go for s equals to ut plus half at square, right? So displacement how much? L by cos theta is equals to ut gone 0 plus half acceleration what? Acceleration this value into t square. So t value how much? 2L by cos theta into the value of a, right? Which is here in options, we can check, okay, to whole power half, okay. So 2L by cos theta and then g sin theta minus, I think, second option only, right? Yeah, so second option is your answer. I hope so. This is clear. Very easy question, right? Just pseudo force and then kinematics. Next, mass number of nucleus is alpha and its radius is r alpha. Radius of another nucleus of mass number beta is r beta if beta equals to 8 alpha. So just one basic formula that you should know is what? That r alpha is equals to r naught into alpha to the power 1 by 3, and r beta is what? R naught into beta to the power 1 by 3. Mass number to the power 1 by 3 comes, right? So if he wants r alpha by r beta, divide, right? So r alpha by r beta will be what? Alpha by beta to the power 1 by 3, right? Alpha by beta is how much? 1 by 8. So 1 by 8 to the power 1 by 3 is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 answer means second option answer, okay. Sometimes people think fourth option, so that should not happen. Okay, if question is very basic, right, then you are getting, like, sometimes we get confused. Okay, as I told you, if you make too much of silly mistake, then you have to go for one more check, right? So if that much easy question comes, that okay, we have not made any mistake, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, alpha by beta he wants, alpha by beta 1 by 8. Okay, fine. Okay, this much you give, 10 seconds, 5 seconds you give, and you will be okay with it. Next. System is released after slightly stretching it, find angular frequency of its oscillation. So this question is of very lengthy, but its result is, we have remembered that time period 2 pi under root, that we used to say what? If you remember, he is asking for 2 blocks are there, but if you remember how we used to give the answer, m by k, right? Okay, this is in the case of 1 block, right? And when we used to have 2 block, then what you used to say in this kind of case, we used to say 2 pi under root mu by k. What is mu? Mu is reduced mass m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. He's not asking time period, he is asking angular frequency omega only, right? So omega you can say what? K by mu under root. Okay, so this is omega he is asking. Okay, fine. So k is how much? K is given 150, right? And mu is how much? Mu, if you say 2 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3, 5, right? So this is your answer, which can be calculated. So 3, so if you simplify this, let me write down the final answer only. 3, 5, right? So this is 5, 5, one more 5. So 5 root 5. I think so, right? 5 root 5, fourth option. Next. Find work done by gas in cyclic process. So you can go by process in this all 3 processes, okay? Or just directly you can say enclosed area, right? So enclosed area is half into base into height for the triangle, right? So base is how much? How much is this? You can say 2 and 4, so 2, and everything is an SI unit, so that's a very good thing. Here height 200, 300, so 100. Okay, so your area is how much? Half into base into height, so that's an 100. But now this is positive or negative, right? For that, people say cyclic, you remember, or cyclic, or what we say, not cyclic, clockwise or anti-clockwise, you remember. I don't recommend you that. Okay, why? Because sometimes P versus V graph comes, or sometimes V versus P graph comes. Okay, then you will get confused, right? So as we are a JEE student, right, so we can understand this thing, that work done formula is integration of P dV, right? That means when he is on x-axis, right? So along with, like when you write down any integration y dx, meaning what? Meaning what of y dx? Means curve is there, okay, along with the x-axis, how much area is making, okay, from a certain x value to certain v. So here when it is from v1 to v2, that kind of thing, okay. So that is work done. Sometimes when v coming here and p pressure here, that time area with y-axis will come, right? And when p versus v coming, that time area with x-axis is coming. So if I see A to C, and it is going this side, that's a positive work, right? And it is going from C to B, that's a negative work done. So negative work done is more than the positive work done. So overall it will be a negative. So here what will come? Minus 100. Okay. You can go by individual process also. Okay, but you will get the same value. So your answer is minus 100. That's the second option. Okay. So that's your answer. Okay. So we have to check the sign only, right? And just the area. Next. Consider the following electromagnetic wave. Wavelength is given, frequency given of wave B, and wave C, wave number is given. Okay, and this is in centimeter, this centimeter inverse, this is in nanometer, right? Order of energies. So instead of going for energy hc by lambda, let me compare just the lambda only, because we have to give the comparison only, not the exact value, right? So we can go for the lambda, right? So if I go for the lambda, what can I say? Here nanometer, right? So you can say 400 into 10 is to power minus 9, right? So you can say 4 into 10 is to power minus 7, right? And this is 10 is to power 16 hertz frequency, right? So for lambda, how you will calculate the lambda? So you say C is equals to what? Lambda F, right? So lambda is what? C by F, right? So C is 3 into 10 is to power 8 right? And frequency, what he said, 10 is to power 16, right? So this is 10 is to power minus 8 into 3. 3 into 10 is to power minus 8. So this is what, here lambda will come how much? 3 into 10 is to power minus 8. And third one is wave number given. So wave number, lambda will be what? 1 upon wave number, that is 10 is to power 4, but it is in centimeter inverse, right? So centimeter will go in numerator, in centimeter to meter, 10 is to power minus 2. Now this in meter, so this will become 10 is to power minus 6, right? So this is 10 is to power minus 6. Now sometime we get confused. So for that, first of all, I am comparing the lambda, okay? Lambda, energy, you can say energy will be what? Hc by lambda. So energy is inversely proportional to lambda. So first let's see lambda. So how you will see this, like how you will compare these two, these three. So how we compare is you make this 10 is to power same, then you will able to compare the number, right? So I will like to go with 10 is to power minus 6. So here if you make it 10 is to power minus 6, you will say how much it is. You can say it like this, that it is, okay, go with 10 is to power minus 8, right? So 3 into 10 is to power minus 8. And here this will be 10 is to power minus 8, you will say 40 into 10 is to power minus 8. Can we say like this? Both are exactly same, right? And here you can say this is what? This is 100 into 10 is to power minus 8, right? That is 10 is to power minus 6. So if you compare here 10 is to power minus 8, 10 is to power minus 8, 10 is to power minus 8, that factor is same. Now you can say 43 and 100, right? Whoever have the lambda higher will have the energy lower. So he have the highest lambda, means his energy is lowest. So wave C have the lowest energy. So that I can see in first and third option. And then after wave A have the lower, like B have the highest, right? So B have the highest. Okay, then third option. Okay, so third option is my answer. Got the point? Okay. I hope so it is clear. We compare the lambda and Hc by lambda. E equals to Hc by lambda, by that answer. Next. Electric field of an electromagnetic wave is given as, so here they missed something, typing error, sine will come, okay? Sine kz minus omega t. See here, electric field of electromagnetic wave is given by E vector equals to 54 sine kz minus omega t I cap, then what will be its corresponding magnetic field, right? So we have to get the direction, and here B naught also, right? So what is the value of B naught? So first of all, we know that B naught will be E naught divided by C. So E naught is 54. 54 divided by 3 into 10 is to power 8. So that is how much? 18 into 10 is to power minus 8, right? So 18 into 10 is to power minus 8, that is in first option and third option. Now I have to check the direction, right? So if you see here and here, just one negative sign difference is there, and that makes a lot of difference, right? So how we calculate the direction, right? So for that we have, remember one trick, right? B, E and C, these are there. Which is the first alphabet? What will come? B, then C, then E, and B, C, E, B, C, E. Okay. You need magnetic field, so directly B equal to C cross E. If you need the direction of light, then you say C equal to E cross B. And if you need direction of E, then you say E equal to B cross C. That's how we said the trick, right? So now I need the B, so B equal to C cross E. So magnetic field direction only, right? C. Light direction, which direction is the wave propagating? So for that you see here kz minus omega t. So if the z and t both are of opposite sign, then it is going in plus z, right? So plus z means plus k cap, direction of the C, and cross product with E. E vector which direction? I cap, right? So k cross I is the J, right? So this is J. So I think this is positive only. So you have to keep it sine kz minus omega t only. So sine kz minus omega t and J cap. So answer is first option. Okay. You have to take the third option if it have k minus j, right? Because one minus will come here and then minus you will send inside. That's what it will become like this. But that's not the case here. Third option. Okay. Third option is not the answer. Answer is the first option. Okay. Next. Time period of spring ball system is given by T equal to, T equal to 2 pi under root m by k if mass of the block is given by m equal to 10 gram plus minus 10 milligram and time period is measured using a stopwatch having least count of 2 seconds and was found to be 60 seconds for 50 oscillations. then the percentage error is measured in measurement of k is. Okay. So instead of asking in the percentage error in time period, he asks the percentage error in k, right? So let's answer that thing. So k, the motive of this experiment was to calculate the spring constant. Okay. So let's see. So first of all, here we have delta m, right? That you can say 10 milligram. That means 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 in gram only, right? And m is 10 gram, right? And if you see here, time period, right? Time period, how much is the time period? He is doing 50 oscillation in 60 seconds, right? So you can say 60 is the total time, and oscillation how many did 50? So that meaning 6 by 5. 6 by 5 means 1.2 seconds is the time period, right? And if you go for the delta t, right? So for delta t, you can say he is doing 60 seconds for 2 seconds. So you can say 2 by 60, okay, into 1.2. This is for one time period. How much is the delta t for one time period? 2 seconds. 2 seconds variation can come plus minus 2 for 60 seconds. So how much it can come for 1.2? That's how we will calculate it. So how much it will come? You can say 1 by 30. Keep it like this only, 1.2, because things will get cancelled out here. Okay. Now, if you take ln and differentiate this, right? Square first of all, and then take ln and differentiate. So from here you will get delta t by t is equals to delta m by m. Okay, and then minus delta k by k. Okay, minus sign you have to consider the plus only because you are calculating error. Now you send this delta m by m that side and make it plus again, right? Because we are dealing with the error. Okay, so delta k by k, that will give me fractional error. Okay, this was square, right? So 2 times. So here 2 times of delta t by t plus delta m by m. So here 2 times of delta t. Delta t is how much? 1 by 30. So I will keep the 30 down. 1.2 divided by 30, and t is how much? 1.2. Okay, plus delta m. Delta m is how much? 10 into 10 to the power minus 3. So that is 10 to the power minus 2 divided by m, that is 10. Okay, gram. So that doesn't matter, right? This will come in fraction. So if you solve, what we have is 1.2 cancel out. This is 1 by 15 plus that is 10 to the power minus 3. Right? So how you will add? Now for that I will give you a simple thing. This is nothing but 1 by 3 into 1 by 5, right? 1 by 3 is 0.33. Okay, and 1 by 5 is nothing but 0.2 plus 10 to the power minus 3, right? So this, if you multiply 3 to 6, right? So this will come 0.066, and then after you have plus 0.001, right? So 0.001. So here 7, right? 0.67, and then here also 6. This is 0.68, right? And if you, so this will go, if you approximate 0.068, right? And now if you can go for percentage, then you multiply with the 100. So it says 6.8, means second option is your answer. Okay, I hope so this is clear. The one and the only thing that can confuse you is how you wrote 2 by 60 into 1.2. So for that, understand, like I'm doing regularly for 50 oscillations. I am doing this complete, like he's doing 50 oscillations continuously, 50 oscillation. Okay, and in how much time? 60 seconds, right? So out of 60 seconds, how much error possible? 2 seconds, right? Okay, and how much time period I have? 1.2, right? So in that, how much error possible? Okay, so that will go 2 by 60 of 1.2. Got it? Okay, something like this, understand, like if you have 1 liter of water, okay, and in which you mix 1 ml or like say 5 ml of some other solvent, or okay, some other solute, right? So if instead of 1 liter I have only the 50 ml of sample, right, and in that 50 ml how much solute will come? Okay, you understand in terms of chemistry, right? So that same way, if you see this thing, right, in 60 seconds there is a possibility of error of 2 seconds, right? Highest possibility. So in 1.2 second, how much possible? So for that I solve like this. Okay, For particle moving in x direction according to relation x equal to 4t cube minus 3t, okay, at t equal to 0.866 x equal to 0. So if time you will put this, x will come 0, okay. So instead of putting this and doing a cube and then calculating, you go for x equal to 0. So if I put x equal to 0, what will come? 4t cube minus 3t, right? So equal to 0. So one is t equal to 0, other one is 4t square minus 3 equal to 0. That means t equal to under root of 3 by 4. That means root 3 by 2. Okay. So if you go for root 3 by 2, you will get this value a, right? So a is correct. Got it? A we got. Direction of velocity of particle remains the same. So let's go for velocity. So if you go for, this is the displacement for your velocity, what will come? 12 t square minus 3, right? No, if you put, if lower time, if you will see, then you will see that there is a negative velocity also. So direction of velocity of particles remains the same. No, right? So B is wrong. I think he is asking the correct statements only. Yes. So correct statements only. So B is not the correct. C, direction of velocity of particle changes at x equal to minus 1. Okay. Direction of velocity of particle. So when velocity equal to 0, if you put, what is coming? 12 t square minus 3 equal to 0. So here what will come? T. T will come 1 by 4 t square. So t equal to 1 by 2, right? 1 by 2 seconds. So 1 by 2 seconds, he is saying x equal to, okay. So instead of time, he is asking x. So what you do for that? T value put here in this x, then what will come? So x you will go for 4 into 1 by 2 ka whole cube minus 3 into 1 by 2. So that is how much? This is 1 by 8. 4 by 8 means 1 by 2. 1 by 2 minus 3 by 2. It will be 1 by 2 minus 3 by 2 minus 1, right? So minus 1. Okay. So t equal to 1 by 2 and x equal to minus 1. The velocity will change the direction. That means C is correct option. So C is also correct. Okay. Then D. Direction of velocity of particle changes at x equal to 0.5. No, obviously it is changing at once only at x equal to minus 1, not at x equal to 0.5. Got it? Acceleration is non-negative. For acceleration, if you solve, acceleration is here, if you differentiate this, what will come? 12 to the 24t, right? So this is non-negative. At t equal to 0, it is 0, but then after it is always positive, right? So acceleration is non-negative, that is also correct. Okay. So I think A, C, E. Okay. First option. Got it? Next. Two light sources of 450 nanometer and 550 nanometer are used for YDSC with slit distance 2.25 mm. Means basically the small d generally which we say. And distance between the slits on the screen is, so means capital D, this one. Okay. And the distance from central maxima for which minima of both wavelength coincide. Okay. So he is asking for 450 nanometer, right? For that, the minima and maxima will exist at different y, okay, and for 550 nanometer, minima and maximum will exist at a different point, okay. So where they're both distance from central maximum and y equal to 0, both minima will coincide, right? So you are saying that, if you remember, what you say is d sine theta is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, right? Sine theta is tan theta is y by d, right? So y by capital D. So I will tell you one thing. Stay away from more and more formulas. Okay, stay close to the concept, right? I don't remember directly why. I don't bother my mind that much also, right? And you should not also, right? Because already we have too much formula. Understand by the concept. See, y will come how much here? 2n plus 1. Here lambda capital D divided by 2 into small d, right? This is the y value. For different lambdas, it will be different, okay, for different value of n. So here, if you say that minima coincides, right? So some value of for this lambda will coincide for this lambda, right? Minima only. Both are minima only coinciding, right? So let me say this is a lambda A and let me say this is a lambda B, right? So for him, you say 2 times of A plus 1 into lambda A capital D divided by 2D is equals to 2 times 2B plus 1 into lambda B capital D by 2D. Okay. Lambda A and lambda B value you know, right? So here what you bring is 2A plus 1 divided by 2b plus 1 is equal to, if you see here, lambda b is what? 550 and 450. So 550 divided by 450. That is, if you cancel out with the table of 5, right? So how much you will have? 11 by 9, right? So what are the suitable values of a and b you can think of that you can go with, right? So I think I can go with the 4, right? So b equal to 4, right? For which a will be how much? 5, right? Those are the values I can think, right? But he's not asking this, he's asking what is the distance. So he is asking this y only, right? So y equal to, you can go with this, then you have to put the a value 5 and lambda a value. If you go with this, then you have to put the b value 4 and lambda b value, right? So I'm going with this one. So 2 times of a, that is 5 to the 10 plus 1, 11, right? Into lambda a, it will be 450 nanometer, and mm he is asking. So 10 to the power minus 9 into capital D, that is 1.5, that means 3 by 2, into 2 times of a small d, that is 2.25 mm. So 2.25 you can say 225, you can say 225 by 100, okay, and millimeters for that 10 to the power minus 3, okay. Got the point? This is multiply. Next, simplify. So if you simplify very fast, right? 225, if you double 450 coming, that's why I wrote it 225, right? So 2, 400, 450, right? So this got cancelled out 2 times and 2 with this gone, right? And then after you just have this 3, 11 and 2, right? So 3 by 2, that is 1.5 into 11 is there. So but you don't go this way. 33 by 2. 33 by 2 how much? 16.5. And 10 to the power, how much is there? Minus 9 and minus 6 plus 2, minus 4, right? And mm is there, so minus 1 is remaining, so 1.65, okay, 1.65 mm. So that is first option. Got the point? Okay, that's it. Next question. Which of the following cannot be measured? Resistance, voltage, voltage difference, displacement, current. Okay, when he gave you voltage and voltage difference, it should click that we never measure the voltage, we always measure the voltage difference, potential difference. Okay, when you define the potential of infinity as 0, then only you are able to say the potentials of different points. Okay, so that's what here we want to say, that second option is correct answer. You can't measure the potential. Next, if percentage increase in Young's modulus y is 1% and percentage increase in density of material is 0.5% and longitudinal wave traveling in metallic bar have wave velocity 400 meter per second, then find the final velocity of wave. So earlier it was 400 meter per second, and now when these increments happen, okay, 1% increment in here, density also increment 0.5%, then what is the increment in the overall final answer he is asking. So for that you understand that we say velocity of sound is how much? Under root of Young's modulus divided by rho, right? So what you do is that just to differentiate ln and differentiate. So what you will have, delta v by v is equals to half times of delta Young's modulus divided by Young's modulus plus half of delta rho by rho. Okay, minus will come. Here you don't have to take the positive. Here you have to take the negative as negative only, right? Because here we are not going for the error. Okay, so here put the value delta v by v, okay, is equal to, now percentage if you want this thing, okay, how much is the percentage change, or you want to go for fraction, directly get for the fraction only. How we will go? We will say delta v by v is equals to half times of delta of Young's modulus divided by Young's modulus is 1%. Is 1%. 1% means 1 by 100 minus half of increment is there, right? This is an increment, right? So you can say plus only, right? And half here also half, so 200. Okay, So this is delta V. Delta V will come how much? This is 1 by 200 minus 1 by 400. So this will come how much? 1 by 400. Okay, that's it. Into V. This is in fraction. So delta V will come how much? So V value is 400 by 400, that is 1 meter per second, right? So that will come how much? 401. Final will become how much? 401. So that's your answer, third option. Okay. Delta V, change in speed, how much came? 1 meter per second. It have came negative, then I have gone for, like, let's say -1 have came here, -1 meter per second. Then I have went for 399, right? Because 400 is the. Okay. I hope so this point is clear. Next. A current is flowing along the surface of long solid cylinder of radius r. Select the correct statement. Magnetic field B is minimum along the axis of cylinder. Okay. Current is flowing along the surface of long solid cylinder of radius r. Fine. Magnetic field is minimum along the axis of cylinder. So A you don't have to even think, because A is given everywhere, right? So A will come. Okay. You don't have to think even on this. Magnetic field B is minimum at the surface of cylinder. No. Okay. Magnetic field B is maximum. If you know, inside it will be a linear increasing, okay, and outside it will be a decrement, right? Exponential decay. C will come, not the exponential, okay. Outside it will be normal, mu naught I by 2r, right? I think this one only. Okay, like an infinite wire. Okay. Mu naught I by 2r or 2 pi r. If this is an infinite, then 2 pi r. Long sum run. Magnetic field B is minimum at the surface of cylinder. No. Magnetic field B is maximum at the surface of cylinder. Yes. Okay. Because if you see, if it is a solid, okay, then it will be like this and like this. Okay. And if it is a hollow, right, then it will be 0 here in this inside region 0, and then here like this. Okay. Magnetic field B is maximum at the surface of cylinder. C correct, right? So A will come, C will come, right? B is minimum at the surface. No. So A, C will come. Okay. A and C will come. Then after D, magnetic field B is maximum along the axis of cylinder. No. Okay. And E, magnetic field is same all over the cross section of cylinder. I think no, it will be not same at all cross sections, right? So A and C is correct. Okay. That's it. Second option. E is not even discussing here. Okay, so A and C means second option is correct answer. Okay. Next. Find magnification due to lens. So here is combination of two lenses. Here refractive index 1.5 and here 1.2. Okay, and 30 centimeter away there is an object, right? He's asking overall magnification, right? So first you get the overall focal length and then you can answer easily, right? So if you get the effective focal length, right? So you will say 1 by f equivalent, right, is nothing but 1 by f 1 plus 1 by f2. For that you can go for mu minus 1 for f1. This you can say this one is focal length f1, let's say, and this one is f2, right? f1 how much you will say? 1 by f1 mu minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, right? So mu minus 1, here 1.5 minus 1 will come how much? 0.5 into 1 by r1. This one is r1 and r2 is in the plane, right? So 1 by infinity will come r2, right? Here r1 how much? R1 he gave 15 centimeter and that will come positive. So 1 by 15, 0.5 into 1 by 15. Everything is in centimeter, don't worry. Okay. Plus here what will come? 1 minus 1.2 minus 1. So that will come how much? 0.2 into, for this planar one, 1 by infinity, that is a 0, and then after this will come minus 1 by r2, and r2 is negative minus 12, right? So negative, negative, positive, that will come 12. Okay. So finally 1 by f equivalent how much came? This is 1 by 30 plus this came 1 by 50, 1 by 5, right? So 1 by 5 what will come here? 60, right? So that's thing. And if you take the LCM, what will come? 3 3 by 60, that is 1 by 20. Okay, so F equivalent how much came? 20 centimeter, right? And the object is placed at 30 centimeter, right? So now you get the magnification, right? So we say 1 by V minus 1 by U equal to 1 by F, right? So V is equals to UF upon U plus F, right? And the magnification is nothing but V by U, right? So V by U, if you get, it is F upon U plus F, right? So focal length is 20 divided by U. U is 30, not 30, minus 30, plus focal length 20. So that came how much? 20 by minus 10, right? So this is what? Minus 2. So magnification is minus 2. That's an fourth option. Okay. So I hope so this is clear. That's it. Two tuning forks A and B produces 8 beats in 2 seconds. So 8 beats in 2 seconds means F1 minus F2 is 4. Okay. When sounded together, frequency of vibration of B is 380. Okay. If A is loaded with X, okay. That kind of question only which you have done many times in your notes, right? So either FA minus FB, not 8, 4 will come per second. Okay. Or FB minus FA is 4, right? For the original only he's asking. If A is loaded with some wax, then they produce 4 beats in 2 seconds. Find original frequency of A. So original frequency of A means this initial case, right? So in this, if you think, if A is loaded with wax, if you load with wax, then what will happen? Frequency will reduce, right? So A will load with wax means frequency of A will decrease. And with this, it becomes 4 beats in 2 seconds, means this goes to 2, means this reduces. Now for these two, in which statement this is true? If the FA decreases, will this subtraction value will also decrease? I don't think so. It should increase, right? That means this is wrong and this is correct. That means FA minus FB equal to 4 is the correct relation, where FB is given how much? 380, right? So FA will come how much? 384, right? So 384 is the correct answer. First option is the answer, okay? And that's it. Next. In the given circuit, energy stored in the inductor is 16 joule and the power dissipated in resistance is 32 watt. Find the value of XL by R. Okay. Understand one thing. Omega is given here. Okay. Frequency is given. Okay. Frequency given. What he is asking? XL by R. Fine. Energy in the inductor, that is how much? Nothing but half Li square. Okay. And the power is nothing but I square R. Okay. So if you divide here, okay, which U is given this, I will use wherever it will be required. U, and this is the P. Okay. So if you divide, what will come? U by P is equal to L by R. But I don't need the L. I want to create XL, right? So for XL, what you need? Okay. If you remember from the AC, XL, what is the value of XL? You can say, if you don't remember, okay, don't get confused that, sir, it will be 1 upon omega L or it will be omega L, right? Okay, for that, simply you go for V equals to V naught sine omega t, right? From here, how you will get current, right? So, if you remember, V is equals to L di by dt, right? Okay, so go for the current. Okay, if you remember the notes, see, I want to understand you that you should not leave the question. Okay, if you understand the concept, why I am telling you like that is because if you understand the concept, how it came, what is the derivation. So even if you forget, and there is a possibility of forgetting, okay, you will forget, right? So if you forget, then how to approach? Okay, how you will approach? When you will remember the formula, you will remember the derivation, how we derive, right? So you go I is equals to I naught into sine omega t, and from here we used to calculate the voltage. So V equals to L di by dt, and from here if you go, then V will come how much? L into differentiate, it will come omega cos omega t, right? That's how you used to do. Now you say V equals to IR, I naught is also there, right? V equals to IR, with that, if you will compare, you will have the XL equals to omega L. So what we understood is it is omega L. Okay, and one more extra thing which you can go with is that this is nothing like resistance, right? Omega dimension you know, L dimension you can bring it from some other formula and then compare and then get, okay, my dimensions are correct, that means my formula is correct. Okay, so that way also you can go. So here XL equals to omega L. So I want to create that thing here. Okay, so but I don't have the omega, I have the frequency, right? So let me create. Okay, so you know time period is 1 upon frequency. Time period is 1 upon frequency, and frequency is 1 up 2 pi by, time period is 2 pi by omega, right? So omega came how much from here? 2 pi f. Okay, I hope so this you know, omega equal to 2 pi f. So if you put here, okay, so XL can also be written as 2 pi f into L, right? So if I want to create XL there, right, so I have to multiply both sides with 2 pi f. Agree? So U is there, 2 pi f U by P is equals to 2 pi f L by R. And this is only XL by, this is only what? XL by R, right? 2 pi f U by P. So 2 pi into f, f is given 50 here, into U. U is what? U is 16 joule. And P is what? Power is 32. This is the value you want to get. Okay. So if we solve for it, 16 2 cancel out, 50 into pi. Okay. So 50 pi is 3.114 approximately, right? So 3.14 into 50. Okay. So if I just 50, 150 approximately. Am I correct? 2 pi f 50 16 joule 32 16 U by P 32. Half. Okay. One thing we got miss, half here will come, that means 2. Here 2 will come, here 2 will come, means these 2 will multiply here. Okay, so here 2, one more 2 will come, so 100, so 314. 314, first option. Okay, so first option is your answer. Okay, I missed this half there while putting. Okay. I hope so this is clear. Next, equivalent capacitance is lower than least of capacitors present in series. Yes, we have seen this thing while calculating R equivalent. So in series what happens? C equivalent is nothing but C1 C2. Many times it have came C1 plus C2. So here you can say C1 by C1 plus C2 times of C2, meaning what? This factor is less than 1, right? Multiply with C2, right? So means C equivalent is less than C2, right? Because with the C2 you are multiplying a factor which is less than 1, right? So that's why C equivalent is less than C2. Similarly, C1 you keep outside and C2 you keep inside, and then C1 also you will say same thing, right? That means C equivalent is less than C1 and C2 both, right? So A option is correct. I think he is asking correct only. Yes. So A option is correct. Okay. One method of increasing the capacitance is to decrease the distance between the plates and increase cross-section area. Yes, C is equals to A epsilon naught by D, right? So if I decrease the distance, your capacitance will increase, right? So if your distance between the plates, decrease the distance between the plates and it will increase the capacitance. Yes, correct. So B option is also correct. Okay, C. Electric field inside the isolated capacitor decreases after inserting dielectric. Electric field, if you remember, electric field is nothing but Q by A epsilon naught. Okay, and if dielectric is there, K will come, right? So if you insert the material, K will come, and K is greater than one quantity, so it will come and electric field will decrease, right? So it decreases, so C option is also correct. So A, B, C all should be included in the answer. That means either third option or either fourth option. Next, D option. So D is that displacement of charge does not happen when a dielectric is inserted in isolated capacitor, because dielectric acts like an insulator. Yes, dielectric act like an insulator and it will not happen. So D option is also correct. And third option answer is there. Let's read the E option also. Energy of isolated capacitor increases when a of the following. Okay, this statement is not completed. Don't know why. Fine. So third is the correct answer for you. Got the point here? Next. Okay, that's all the questions. Okay, I hope so this is understood. Okay, and with this your JEE Main completes, and whatever your score have came doesn't matter. Okay, that much. Okay, you will have one more attempt, so do put more hard work. Okay, in that there is no such thing as talent. And one more extra thing I will tell you, if you are an average student, you should analyze yourself. Okay, if you are an average student, right, then there will be a point like, now the good students, okay, which are capable of JEE Advanced and getting a good rank in JEE Advanced, right, those will not focus on April attempt. They will not focus. That's their strategy, right? So those who think that they are almost qualified for NIT, okay, they are in their target batch and they are almost qualified for their NIT, right? Now they can put more effort, okay, and they can get a good NIT, or they can qualify JEE Advanced also. Obviously, I will give you best of luck and you put your hard work to get the IIT. But still, I'm saying those who have just qualified the JEE Main this time, right, they can get a good rank. Why? Because the top rankers will now only focus, either if they are in 12, they will focus in the board and then JEE Main, then JEE Advanced. Okay, and but you have the whole time for only focusing on the JEE Main April attempt. Okay, but the good students will focus on now on the JEE Advanced, right? So because they have already got the good percentile, right? So you can improve your percentile if you want in the next attempt. Okay, because many student is now not gonna focus on April attempt. Okay, this the 2 attempts that the JEE Main have gave. That is just gave to reduce the pressure on the student, and it have reduced the pressure, right? So I hope so you will utilize this thing, okay, and you will improve your percentile in next attempt, and whatever result comes, okay, try to improve it in the next attempt. Okay, thank you.